Hello there. Welcome to a Tyke Farming in the Philippines. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ding-a-ling-ding-dong the bell. It's Sunday morning. It's 4 a.m. We've got 3 men on site. We're butchering this morning. Not really awake yet. I've been up about 20 minutes, half an hour. So, yeah, a busy day again. We'll see how the pig goes this week. The last 2 pigs we butchered, it's been very quiet on sales. The road's been very quiet. There's been 2 other people on the mountain butchering, whereas this Sunday there's only 1 other person butchering. And this Sunday we've got it on Facebook, so a little bit of advertising. Hopefully that'll make a difference. We have got 3 small sales through that Facebook page. So yeah, hopefully locally people are more aware, might drum up a bit of business. So we'll have to wait and see. Good morning, foreigner expat making money. A regular commentator. I've seen his channel a number of times. Yeah, interesting. Different ideas on how to make a bit of money in the Philippines, I suppose, going round and showing different businesses. But I don't get an awful lot of time to watch YouTube channels now. I watch very much the same channels politically. I do quite a bit of research on YouTube. But that's about all I do watch on the television is YouTube. Just keeping up with the channels I'm interested in. It's hard work sometimes. I just don't have the time anymore. Yeah, always something to do. Yeah, we're persevering with the house build, but we are struggling a little bit with the house. But the farming side of it, we are doing quite well, and we're looking forward shortly to these gilts flowering. Yeah, things are going okay. I will talk about the house build in a little while, because there are things happening on with that. Sorry? It
takes a while to start it.
Yeah, I'm just looking down the bottom to see what's happening. The fire's lit, they're boiling the water, getting ready. To get everything ready, then they have a cup of coffee and then they do the pig. It's a normal routine thing. You got it sorted, have you? Right. Yeah, I think things are going well for me in the Philippines, but it's like anywhere. You got to put the effort in to get what you want out of it. Um, and income-wise, you can make thousands of pesos a week here, no problem. But the trouble is, if you convert it into Western money, it's a very small income you're earning. Same as farming. Farming the world over is very, very low profit margins. Um, the only chance I saw of making any money out of pigs and chickens was to sell the product, sell the commodity you produce yourself direct to the public. That's the same in the Western world. But it's a very small income in Western money. But of course here, when you're in pesos, you make 10,000 pesos profit on a pig. It's quite a lot of money here. It's 10,000 pesos. But in reality, what's 10,000 pesos? £150. But it pays. It pays your wage. It pays your way. A lot of men who come here are on a pension, and that's makes all the difference. If you got even a very basic pension, which you couldn't really live on if you were renting a house here, etc., etc., or you could, but the standard of living you had wouldn't be very high. With a bit of income earned locally, it makes all the difference. I suppose I've got an English pension and I've got an Australian pension, and they're nowhere near. Oh, well, they are, but they're less than what an American pension would be, for example. But then I've got a third pension, in so much that we've made a little business here and got a little bit of income coming from the farm. And the other major thing with the farm is it's all paid for. I've no rent. I don't have to lease a house or anything like that. So I can live really very well on just one pension, which would be quite low. If I just built a house, small house, not like the one I'm building, and nothing else, and just sat on the veranda and drank coffee and tea all day. But that wasn't part of my dream. I wanted to do a little bit of farming again. And yeah, because of my age, it is hard work for me at times. But here I can employ people to do the work for me. But I've got more to say on that today. I'll probably start on this live stream later on. Because when money gets tight, you've got to do things about it. You can't ignore the fact that your income isn't able to do what you want it to do, and you need to pause things and sort the problems out you've got. Can't ignore problems. But Better retirement in the Philippines. Well, depends what you want in retirement. The way I see it, and I'm not criticising other people and my mates and whatever have you, but to me, a lot of people retire, and all of a sudden the work ends, and the families, or how can I say it? The work ends, you sat at home all day, you go shopping, you do whatever you're doing, but mostly you sat at home all day, watching television, watching football on the telly, or whatever you're into, and the purpose in your life drifts away to a large extent, I think, and you can find yourself in a situation where you sat in front of the television waiting for God. You're not needed anymore by your family. You know, your kids are all grown up and they've got kids of their own. And there's a bit of a void there. It's not that your kids don't want you. It's just that they don't need you anymore. And that was a big thing for me. When you're working away all your life, raising a family, within your household, you're the centre of the family. You're providing the income, working for the income, and probably your wife is as well, or my first wife was, for sure. And then you retire, and everything changes. You don't have the same responsibilities, and that's what I felt. And I drifted around for a little bit after I retired, and eventually I found myself here. And I've rediscovered a new life, in so much that I've got responsibilities here now. I'm needed here, as well as wanted. I'm actually needed to provide. Yeah, that's probably, I'm providing again, like I did when I was younger. And for me, that's better than sat in front of the television waiting for God. That's my ambition really now, is to live till I die, which, what I mean by that is live every day until my last day. Not living wrapped up with a blanket in front of the television. Yeah, I don't know if I'm making myself clear or not. Well, what I've just been saying, I'm looking back at keeps you active, yeah, for sure. That's what I've been trying to say. Retirees end up in God's waiting room of a care home waiting to die, but that's exactly right, what I've been saying. Made a new life for myself, yes. And when I came here, I definitely wanted a woman in my life again. A permanent relationship. I wasn't looking for one night stands and this sort of thing. An example to others, what can be done. If others see this channel, get ideas, see mistakes, and can use the information I put out there, then that's a good thing. That makes me happy. And that's the main reason I do this channel. It's not for money, because I don't get any money out of this channel. I get a load of sand every month or every 6 weeks. I get 7,000 pesos worth of sand out of it. So I could make money, I suppose, if I put more work into it. If I did a better job with it. But probably maybe not doing what I'm doing. If you're talking politics, even if you don't know what you're talking about, doesn't matter. And you put a name on your description on a video, and for example in England or worldwide, he's known worldwide, if you put something Tommy Robinson, you get tens of thousands of views riding on the back of that name, even if you don't know what you're talking about or what understand what he's on about. And I do see channels like that, and when you look at the podcast, there's nothing in them. They just put that title, and I suppose they're making money because they get 10,000 views, whereas we get, I don't know how many views we get on a video. 600, did you?
Yeah.
500, 600. You're not going to make any money on the YouTube with 500 or 600 views, but that's not why I do it. If other people get ideas from this channel, then that's enough for me. Yeah, what can be done on a limited budget? Budgets really are easy. You work to the budget you have, and when you don't have any more budget, you stop working until you accumulate a budget again, and then you start again. What you can't do in what you definitely can't do in life is spend money you haven't got. Credit and all this, that's a highway to hell once you start doing that. Yeah, well, I'm going to come on to talking about money shortly. Popularity of foreigners moving to the Philippines dropped off. Well, I'm not really aware of that, but yeah, that's bound to happen because people come to Europeans, Westerners come to Asia for various things, but it's usually involving women. A lot like me, who are wanting a relationship again, but even more who just want to come and drink beer and have a good time, etc., etc. But the Western world's falling apart. There's no money in the Western world to what there was, and it's getting worse and worse very quickly, and it'll get worse still. So yeah, that's why there's not the same number of foreigners coming to Asia. The money's drying up in the West. But tourism, I suppose, will increase from other parts of the world, like China. Maybe, I don't know. But as you get older, you become a bit of a dinosaur. Maybe you'll start, all those foreigners here from the West, so maybe start to become a bit of a dinosaur tourist-wise. won't be so many hours anymore. But if you're here, then you're here, and if you made a life, then that'll carry on, of course. Morning, Spartan. I'm busy going through foreigner expat making money. There's a lot of comments.
Send you 50 Norwegian again.
Sorry?
Send you some money again.
All right. I'll get onto it in a minute. Long-term Filipino YouTuber Gio in the Philippines has gone to Thailand. Yeah, well, that's the thing about expats in Asia. They are mobile. I've been to Thailand. Lovely people. But I wasn't very happy in Thailand from what I've seen. The Philippines for me is much, much better. Morning, Spartan. Can you take a cup of tea, Jane? Thank you, Spartan.
Just drinking.
I haven't finished yet, but I will have another one. Yeah.
Oh, make another one for you? No,
Yes, please. No.
Now?
Yeah, go on. I mean, that's gone cool. Yeah, it's incredible what's happening in the West to me. I'm of the generation where all our fathers were in the Second World War and all our grandfathers were in the First World War. And I was born in 1948. And when I look back, we were very, very poor as a family. We had nothing really. My father was an agricultural worker at that time when I was very young. But we didn't feel poor. I had a wonderful childhood. I roamed all over the place. No fear of getting into. Well, I used to get into a lot of trouble. Yeah, no fear of being molested or anything like that. Different world. And society was very cohesive. Very similar to the society here, because these people have very little as well. And you can call them poor, but they don't feel that they're poor. Sometimes they struggle to eat a little bit from day to day. But where I am anyway, up this mountain, it's a very nice, cohesive society. That doesn't mean to say that there isn't problems from time to time and people fall out from time to time. But in the West now, from generations after right, same as my father's generation, then successive generations after that, I've been sleeping and allowed these rotten to the core politicians be governed and owned by big industry. And they're just puppets, nothing else. They haven't got original thought in the bloody head. They're as thick as two short planks, highly educated beyond their intelligence, and definitely not fit to govern in any way, shape or form at any level. And it's successive generations which have allowed it to happen, and we're all guilty of allowing it to happen. What the answer is, I don't. Well, I know what the answer is, but I can't say on here. Yeah, where are we going from there? I don't know. The next comment is my sister, Mary. The Wi-Fi, I was going to ring her 2 days ago, I think. The Wi-Fi went off, but I will be ringing you tonight, Mary. The Wi-Fi is back on.
Don't worry, I will nag him to call you.
Me and Mary talk a lot about politics in the West and what's happening, and there's a lot happening. A lot of people thought when Trump regained power, the American Fifth Cavalry was riding over the hill and they'd sort everything out in a fortnight. It's not working out like that. Without a doubt, he's doing some good things, but equally, without a doubt, it's quite obvious he's out of his depth against the globalist deep state, call it what you want, who've had decades and decades of gaining control over everything, and one man can't sort it out.
Should I turn on the water? Have you checked the water at the back last night?
Yeah, it's the tanks are half full. Yeah, you better turn it on. Jim's going to turn on the wall pump.
I make the coffee first.
I mean, now you can't even talk about these things in Europe. There's no Bill of Rights in Europe, UK. If you say anything online, you're liable to get bloody locked up, the bastards. And it doesn't matter if you're an old person, a young mother, or Tommy Robinson. Alex Belfield. Oh, there's a long list. Lucy Connolly. There's a long list of people locked up for hurty words. That's the state. We, the people, have allowed the politicians to put us in. And you can process all you want. You've got to be careful here. Governments don't listen to process. They control the process. The only time that government will listen to protest is when they turn ugly. Very ugly. And eventually that's what's going to happen. I can't be more specific than that. Thank you, Jane.
Here's the coffee.
Here's the coffee. Yeah, morning, Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about being similar to my young childhood. Family values and respect shown is nice in the Philippines. It is. And it used to be like that in England when I was growing up in the 50s. And the family values and ties are very strong. Like our family ties were very strong. Because that's how you survive within your family unit. I mean, my father went to work when I was very young in an agriculture worker, and he earned £4.26 a week. That was his wage. When I started work, I was 14 actually when I started work. I should have been 15, but I was a bit short for being 15. My wage as an apprentice butcher was £4.26 a week. And it wasn't a lot of money. You got your bus fares, a packet of cigarettes, and it was all gone. And you give your mum 30 shillings for your keep. No, money was in short supply. But happiness, what for me wasn't. I was very happy as a child. UK shockingly changing. It's changed shockingly beyond belief, and there's more to come. There's a lot more to come. Yeah, Philippines is developing like the rest of Asia. It's a bit behind a lot of countries in Asia. It will continue to grow. So that Asia will continue to grow. Russia will grow substantially in the coming decades. You've got a polar world now. The American dollar, the American empire is collapsing, like the British Empire collapsed. And rising up is maybe something different.
This is near how?
Not an empire of China, for example, which is very influential in this region, or an empire of India, which are two very strong nations. But with BRICS and Russia and Putin, and when I say Putin, his government advisors, etc., etc., they've got a different sort of idea now, if it comes to fruition. Sovereign countries trading together through BRICS, and it might work, or whether it works for 100 years or not, I don't know. But in the short term, it will improve the life of all them people. Where the Western world will fit in eventually amongst it all, I don't know. No, my local town, from years ago, all the shops are shutting. There's no work. I was brought up in a town called Huddersfield in the north of England. Lots of mills, woolen mills. I worked in woolen mills. I was a weaver for a while, and various other jobs I did in the mills. You'd coal mining, heavy engineering, light engineering. Firms like Brook Motors, David Brown tractors, all made in Huddersfield. If you walk along the street in any UK town and look at the manhole covers, you won't have to look at very many to see made in Huddersfield. Forget the name of the couple of firms who did it. Foundries. If you wanted a job in Huddersfield when I left school, 15, 16, 18, you didn't go down the employment exchange. You either looked in the Huddersfield Examiner, and a lot of firms didn't even advertise in there because they couldn't get workers. They didn't go to the employment exchange because there were no workers there. You just went into a factory and asked for a job, and inevitably they give you one. You could change jobs every week. To now, if you can get a job, it's paying nothing. different world to when I was a young fella. Completely different world. Martin O'Reilly. Yeah, I noticed when I went back to England from Australia, so 7 years ago, the George Cross had become associated with the far right, the Nazis. Fortunately, it was still flown on the top of Selby Abbey during, what do you call it, the holiday after Easter. I can't remember. But yeah, it's a dirty rag. The George Cross has become a dirty rag. Not to me, bastards. Now they're painting the roundabouts with the George Cross, and good on them. They're hanging them everywhere, and the Union Jack, good on them. Yeah, every other shop in the high street is a Turkish barber. They reckon it's to do with money laundering, drug money laundering. The amount of drugs in the UK is not even funny. I would never sit in a chair having a haircut. Got to be careful now. From a foreign barber. Or we'll be in a cutthroat race, and let's put it that way. Yeah, vape shops. Well, the reason for vape shops is people can't afford tobacco anymore. During the First and Second World War, and wars prior to that, and I've seen it with my own parents. In the Second World War, when the Germans were bombing the hell out of UK, and the soldiers at the front in both world wars give them a cigarette and a cup of tea, and they calmed down, they coped, especially civilians. In Hull, for example, which was bombed every bloody other night. People coped with it. A cup of tea and a cigarette. And at that time, 80% of the population smoked. Now, it's bad for your health, is smoking, without a doubt. Nobody can deny that. But any ill effects from smoking tend to be 30 years in the future, so a lifetime away. People are using drugs the same way as cigarettes to calm down, to make life bearable. The health effects of drugs are only 3 years away, or overdoses, or whatever. Now, tobacco's a drug, been smoked forever by mankind. Before it was brought back to Europe, it was smoked by Indians and whatever have you. it's also got benefits of smoking. Keeps people sane. Keeps people calm. All the financial problems you might have in the UK or any other country in the West can all drift away when you light up a cigarette and have a cup of tea. That's how it is for me. That's how it was for my parents. My father, provided he had a tin of tobacco every week and a cup of tea, he was right. He didn't want any more. He didn't ask for anything more. Carve the life you want in the provinces. Yes, you can make it happen here on a very small amount of money. I seen something on YouTube last night. When I think it must have been when the Philippines went independent from the USA, the exchange rate to the dollar was 2 pesos to the dollar, and now I don't know what it is, 740, whatever. And that's why Western men come to Asia in general, but the Philippines, because with a small amount of pension, they can live a middle-class life here. And, I was never going to live in a city in the Philippines. I'm not a city person. So for me, there's no debate on city or provinces. I don't like cities. Meon Bungtag, good morning, Mick Selby. Just talking about Selby.
Australia. Do you understand what I said?
Yeah, Mick Selby. Yeah, I'm also Australian, Mick. And Australia is not as bad, but it's going that way. It's not far behind the UK. And if you look at UK and you think, how did that happen? Well, it happened very quickly. It happened over a period of 40 years, but it's sunk in the since COVID. And COVID was designed to do that. Fortunately, I've been awake a long time. There's no way was I getting a COVID jab, and I never had one. A lot of people suffering now because they did have them. Yeah, that was if you like, the last nail in the coffin was the COVID bullshit. You've got COVID, you've got net zero. Well, yeah, it started with global cooling, and that didn't work. No, it didn't. It started with the hole in the ozone layer. They said it was going to turn Australia into the skin cancer capital of the world, which was laughable. It already was the skin cancer capital of the world. You put all them European people 200 years ago into a bloody hot country like Australia, it's going to be the skin cancer capital of the world. But the ozone hole, it worked a little bit for a short period of time, but it didn't work, and they came up with global cooling, which didn't work at all. And then they came up with global warming, and that got traction. So miraculously, the ozone hole in the ozone layer above Australia miraculously healed itself. It's all bullshit. It's still there today. It's a natural phenomenon. It gets bigger, it gets smaller. Now, the global warming worked well for a decade. until it was going more and more evident that the planet was cooling, which is where they started in the first place, because scientifically it was. But it didn't work, so they called it global warming, which worked. Now it's climate change, because global warming doesn't work anymore. It's getting bloody colder. And climate change is like saying the wind blows or the rain falls. It's all bullshit. And I think about 1972, I noticed something wrong. It was the referendum to join the common market. And I read a piece in the Financial Times on about the 4th page, which was saying the common market, the first step to a European state. And then that disappeared, and you've never seen anything more. Just a common market, just for trade. And who was the Prime Minister? Can't think of his name. Edward Heath. And he came out and was spouting about why we should join, etc., etc. And I wasn't having any of it. And then the American visiting London. What the hell do they call him? He was a big hitter. Equivalent to Foreign Secretary. I can't remember his name, but a big politician. And he came out one evening on the television and he's spouting all this about a new world order, and we've got to be in it and at the front of it to lead it. And all this diatribe, which was all right. Then the following day, Edward Heath came out and word for word spoke the same tripe. Exactly the same words. And that was the first time I noticed that there was a script. I know now it's a script, but then Kissinger came to London. I knew there was this. I didn't know if it was a script then, but I knew there was something strangely bloody odd and definitely wrong. That Kissinger came to London, give a speech, and the morning after, Edward Heath gave the same bloody speech, same word for word speech. Now everybody knows that. 100 politicians speak exactly the same words. Doesn't matter if they're different countries. They speak the same bullshit. That was the first awakening for me, one of many. Yeah, so yeah, you can make it work here, Mick, for sure. Yes, we are butchering this morning, Lee. They're down there now. Hopefully we'll get better sales today. The last 2 pigs we butchered, we've had to put quite a lot in the freezer. We're on Facebook today, bit of advertising. There's only one other pig being butchered up the mountain. I'd like to shift the pig if I can. Martin. Yeah, cigarettes are 18-20 euro a packet. Believe it or not, in Australia, 100 gram of tobacco, it's hard to find 100 gram packets anymore. No, 50 gram packets of tobacco.
A lot of flies this morning.
Over $100 now. And a packet of cigarettes is, like you say, $20. No, it'd be more. In England, it's 20 quid getting on. Yeah, rapid decline everywhere after COVID, unfortunately. Only sheepies get the jab. Yeah, but people believe what they're told. People believe that political leaders have got their best interests at heart. Unfortunately, they haven't. I'll tell you a thing I noticed a few years ago, and I couldn't believe it or understand it. People were getting excited when they first went back to UK. I can understand people getting excited about football matches and other sports or whatever your interests are. But I was talking to people and they were getting excited because it coming back on the television was a Great British Bake Off. And there's another spin-off one, something to do with cakes. And I couldn't understand why they were excited about a television program. Baking. Yeah, the Women's Institute for bloody decades have been really keen on baking the lightest sponge and taking them down the Women's Institute and having a good chin wag every week. That's different. But an entire nation getting excited about a bloody baking program on the television, I couldn't understand it and still can't. But people are brainwashed. They've had 40 years of being brainwashed. Net zero puts a lot of money in the pockets of the people running the show. Forget about high energy prices and all that. They'll squeeze every bloody penny they can out of you until you've nothing left. It's all a big scam. Can it be stopped? You've got to remain hopeful. £43 for 50 gram of amber leaf, yeah. So it's got to the same price as Australia now. Edward. Yeah. 50 gram, well, if I smoke tobacco, which I don't here, I need, it used to be a tin a week. Is it 200 grams a tin? No. It's an ounce. Or is it no, it's a 2 ounce tin. That was the amount I smoked a week. A little bit more. So I'd be 2 packets a week. That's my pension gone on tobacco. Or the English pension gone on tobacco. I used to go, when I first went back to England, I used to go to France, to Belgium and buy tobacco and bring back as much as I could. And then they come out in the foreign market, you had to pay full price again. But there's plenty of fake tobacco in the UK. Some of it not so good though. I smoke the fake brands. United.
Not fake, but no tax on it.
Yeah, it's what they call fake brands here. Grey imports. Now I smoke these because I prefer them. When I first came here, I was smoking Chesterfield red, but these are actually better. Now the other cheap cigarettes you get here, no, they're not very good at all. The packet I'm on at the minute is menthol, but I smoke the United Red. How much have a packet?
A carton?
Yeah.
750?
750 pesos for 200. And like I say, I smoke them because I prefer them. Whereas the Chesterfield, I don't know how much they are in the shop.
We don't sell in there. It's gone up. 14, I think 14, 1500.
What, 200?
Mm.
1,500 pesos for 200 Chesterfield. But if you work it out, it's still cheap. Maybe £3 a packet, £2 a packet. Yeah, like I said, then these United, they're very good. I wouldn't smoke the other cheap cigarettes here, or the ones I've tried. I don't like them at all. So we're a bit into this now. I've been going an hour. It just tell you somewhere on here. 17 people watching. We're going to adjust things today. I've run out of budget to continue building the house. And we've been chasing this tail for the last 2-3 weeks. Keeping the shop's been paying wages and buying some materials. And we've been chasing this tail to restock the shop. We've been chasing this tail, buying feeding for the shop and the pigs. And the time has come to alter things. You can't, if you're short of money, doesn't matter if you're Philippines or wherever you got, you can't ignore the fact that you're short of money. You've got to do something about it. And that's the position we've been in this last 2 or 3 weeks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the house build. I won't be buying any more materials for the house. Let my pensions accumulate a bit. So I'll probably be stopping the house build for 3 months. Maybe 2, but probably 3 months till I accumulate money again. And then we'll go back onto it and we'll hopefully get it finished on the next run. We've been working on this site now for 3 years, non-stop. And we need to pause things to recoup, get everything organised and together again. So that's what I'm going to do today, which means I've got to tell these fellas that the work's not going to be the same. They're going to have to take a cut in wages and a cut in working. Not still get the same money, but they won't get 7 days a week work. It's not so much the wages which are the problem here. for me, it's the cost of materials. So that's what I'm doing today. I shall stop the build to accumulate some money, accumulate a budget again, and then we'll start again. It's not the end of the world. It's something I've done many times in the past. It's going to be hard for these work fellas. I'm aware of that, but reality is reality. We have to take steps to keep this project on an even keel. And one thing that I would never do is borrow money, especially here in the Philippines. I could go to the bank next week and borrow 500,000 pesos, or Jean could, and they'd take the title, no doubt. I'm saying I could easily do it. I assume I could. I've never.
They offer already when we.
They've offered us credit for a new car, for example, when they opened the accounts up. But they'd take the lease, they'd take the deeds to your land. And from what I gather here, even if you paid the debt off, you never get your bloody title back because it's already sold on. So, I mean, borrowing money to build a house is a bit different in the West. You get a mortgage. I don't want a mortgage again ever. I'm too old for a bloody mortgage, no. And no, I'd never borrow money to finish the house. And I don't have to. All I have to do is pause for 3 months, get a budget back together, and away we go again. But it's going to be a bit of a traumatic day for the workers. I'll take Win to one side. He's the only one who speaks English. I'll explain to him what's happened. He'll only half understand what we're saying. Then he'll go back to Jean, his sister, and she'll explain it in more detail. When we wanted to negotiate, I can't afford this, and all this business. So the instructions for Jean is just blame me. It's all my fault. And that's where it's going to be. Then it'll all settle down after a few days. And then when we start up again building in 2 months or 3 months' time, everything will be rosy again. How many days' wages does a 90-kilo pig pay for a worker?
It's 2 weeks.
Well, that's
2 weeks' wage.
That's a 80-kilo pig, 80 kilo of meat. What's that? 16,000.
No.
How much?
I did work out
24,000.
90-kilo pig. That's 25, so that's 2 weeks' wage.
25,000 pesos.
14 days.
And that's 2 weeks' wage for 3 men. Our wages bill is about 12,000 a week. It'll go down to about approximately half that after this. We'll work as normal this coming week, and then it'll go down to about half that, 6,000 or so. So a 90-kilo pig would pay 2 weeks' wages for 3 men. But of course, that pig's worth 25,000 retail, but that's not profit. You may be getting 10,000 pesos profit out of that pig. So it'll pay just short of paying 1 week's wages for 3 men. The thing with the pigs is, at the minute, I think I've got 7 down there ready for butchering over this next
9
down there. If we can't retail them through the shop at 1 a week, they're going to get too big and heavy. and we're going to finish up selling pigs to a pig buyer. Now, at the moment, the pig buyer, the price they're paying is 180 pesos a kilo.
Dead weight.
Dead weight. There's no profit in that. So I want to avoid doing that if I can. So hopefully things will pick up with pig sales this week. Now, next week, as far as we know, there's no pig. Other pigs are going to be killed on the mountain. So we might get away with it. The other option would be buying another freezer. But it's room to put the bloody thing. I might buy another freezer rather than, at least then we make money, we get profit. Because the meat does sell out the freezer. But in the past we have sold a full pig. On a Sunday, and then the following Sunday another full pig. So I'm hopeful, and it's a fiesta down the bottom of the mountain, and if they've seen the Facebook, they might just come up the mountain. The road's getting better and better now. Might just come up here and get a bit of meat. We'll have to wait and see. Obi. Morning, Obi. Yeah, that's interesting, Obi. Collecting kelp off the beach. Seaweed is very, very good for pigs and all animals. If I could get bloody seaweed here, and the brown seaweed is even better than the green seaweed, I would feed it to the pigs, no problem. Just to get healthy pigs. I have got some seaweed here, but it's food grade. It's too expensive. I have tried it, but it's not sustainable buying food grade for the seaweeds. It's them sheets which you get your sushi rolls wrapped up in. It would be interesting if UK cuts back on pensions. Oh yeah, it's definitely going to affect the pensions. Is definitely going to affect foreigners moving to Asia. Now the pensions won't be cut. In the UK, they took away the fuel allowance and a lot of stick over that. But the governments don't listen to the people anymore. But what will happen is, well, twofold. They'll take it's linked to three: cost of living and wages in the UK. Well, that'll alter. And then your pound will get weaker and weaker and weaker. So your pension in the Philippines or any other country will fall. It's going to happen. Hopefully, I'm hopeful anyway. Australia's a bit different. It's a very small country, economically wise. There's only 26 million people live there. It's a vast continent, smallest continent in the world, but it's a vast landmass. And their economy is very quick to adjust. You've got Albanese in at the minute. He never was anybody. He's always been a nobody. Hopefully, at some stage, you get a leader back in Australia, and to change things, and that you'll be able to change things very quickly because it's a small country population-wise. I'm hopeful that way because my kids and grandkids are in Australia, you know. Caught 10 crayfish, mussels tomorrow. I prefer the mussels to the crayfish. Yeah, the seafood in Australia is fantastic. And South Africa, I would imagine, is exactly the same. The seafood here is really good. But it's not served up the same as in the West, you know. I don't think, you know, barbecued prawns is the way to go every time. But I've never seen barbecued prawns here. Smoking some swine, yeah. You don't give up with your smoke over there. It will happen. I will smoke some bacon and ham, but it's a long time down the track. I've so much to do before I even think about curing bacon and smoking bacon, smoking sausages, smoke anything. But yeah, I will get there. Don't you worry. The Jehovah's Temple, Spartan. It's very small. It's very popular. Every, I don't know, Wednesday, Thursday, they have a meeting there. Always well attended. And then we come to the shop to buy a small item like, I don't know, one ice cream. And they all have 1,000 peso note. And they just have to change to divide it up between 5 of them or whatever. So how it works, I don't know. But it's well attended, but you know, this is a Catholic country. All the beliefs, all the societies, it's all intertwined with the Catholic Church. And you've got all these smaller religions, like Methodists and whatever. But
I opened the shop.
yeah. The only one here what seems to gain ground are these born again Christians. Whatever that means, I don't know. And there seems to be a bit of friction with them. But whatever church you're in, if you're happy with that church, then that's the church for you. I'm not in any church because I've never been really happy with religion in the West. It's just another form of control, another government. It used to be the government, the churches. And in England, it was Catholic Church, then Protestant, Catholic, Protestant, and it's finished at Protestant. But it's the same bloody church. People in power, pulling the strings. That's what. Organised religion is not for me. That doesn't mean to say I'm not religious, but in my own way. I just don't like being told what to do. Never have done. Thanks. Yeah, I believe the pension has just gone up in the UK. If the pension goes up in the UK over this next 2 or 3 years, these pension increases, if they continue and they do go up, which I have my doubts, the pension is going to decrease for people like me in Asia because of the exchange rate. Europe is bust. The whole Western world is bust. The money's worthless. They're printing money by the billions. Now, you don't have to look back far in history. It's the Second World War and the Nazi regime. The inflation was hyperinflation, destroyed their currency in a very, very short while. You needed a wheelbarrow to get your bloody wages home at the end. The money was worth absolutely nothing. And that's the way the Western world is going. Now, Russia, China, India, Thailand have been the biggest buyers of gold for 2 decades now. China, Russia, India. I'm not sure about India, but China's got a currency, yen, not the regular yen, directly linked to gold. Russia's linked their currency to gold, and probably more countries. We're going back to the gold standard. This fiat currency in the West is worth nothing. Just a matter of time. And eventually the West will have to link. We'll have to go back to the gold standard. Or, as Russia and BRICS now, South Africa, they're linking their currency, which eventually will bring a currency out, to commodities. So it doesn't have to be gold. It can be wheat. It can be gas. It can be oil. Whatever that country's commodity is. So the value of BRICS money, the members of BRICS, will be underpinned by something tangible. Whereas the dollar and the Western currencies are underpinned by hot air, nothing. They've been printing money for 2 decades, willy-nilly, non-stop. And it's all going to come crashing down, and very, very quickly. I've been saying for 15 years the euro dollar will collapse this year. It will collapse eventually, but it's been kept up with artificial means. It should have been collapsed. It was worthless 15 years ago. The German banks were bust 15 years ago. The financial powerhouse of Europe. They're all bankrupt. That's it, the triple lock. They've tried to alter that in the past. There's every chance of adjusting that triple lock. But the main reason the pension will fall is the exchange rate for people like me. But by that time, I'll be finished building, hopefully, and won't have any effect on me because my desires are very modest nowadays. I need very little money. I'm not really much interested in money anymore. I like to work. I like to run a little business. Really, my own interest in money is to make sure Jean's going to be right when I have to leave it. Yeah, 67 and going. It's over 67 pension age in South Africa. It's 67 and going up in UK. I think it's 65 for women now in the UK. It used to be 60. Yes, Spartan. I've been putting lime down for quite a while now, and it's working for me. Oh, that's my feeling. You can't say anything, put your thumb on anything and say, oh, that's working. Fermenting feed, I wasn't entirely happy with the fermenting feed. That's why I took charge of it myself. And I'm happy with it now. The fermented feed's supposed to lower the acidity in the pig's gut, make it more difficult for bad bugs to grow, to make them sick. The lime has been is a disinfectant being used for centuries. Still widely used, especially in chickens. It's added to feed. These pellets you buy, there's feed in it. There's lime in it. They can eat it. I used it in Australia in the piggery when the pigs came in and they all went out. I'd spray it on the walls and the floor and everything, make a liquid out of it and spray it. Yeah, I'm a big fan of lime. Yeah, I think will be less. I mean, I don't know because I don't follow it, but I would think there's less foreigners coming here, especially foreigners coming here for extended holidays, 3 months, 6 months. But having said that, there's maybe more Koreans coming here, more Chinese coming here. The immigration site will give you the numbers on visitors and all that sort of stuff, I would imagine. Pension mean tested. Well, from Thatcher, they tried to means test the pension. In the UK, that didn't go down well. And the UK pension is different than the Australian pension. You pay in to the Australian pension. It used to be 10% of your income. You're paying to the UK pension. National insurance stamp used to be 10% of your income, which buys you the pension. You pay for the UK pension. Doesn't matter how much money you got, you can be a millionaire, you still paid for that pension, you're entitled to it. Now, Australia's a bit different. You don't pay into the Australian pension, it's a benefit. So that is means tested. If you have over a certain amount of money, there's no Australian pension. And that's fair enough because you don't pay into it. Spartan says, can you tell him the 5 most expensive vegetables in the last week?
Pumpkin. What happened to you?
Oh, pumpkin's gone up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Quite, yeah.
Did you scratch this one?
Maybe.
It's bloody.
Oh, maybe a mosquito, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, pumpkin was 50 pesos a kilo. How much is it now?
Before, I'm buying it for 25. That's why I'm selling it for 50.
Yeah.
But now, it was 70 peso when I bought it.
Yeah, so you're 100 pesos a kilo.
No, I did not put. I just sell it for 80 peso because I'm not carrying it. Someone did bring it in here, so it's a bit.
So it's expensive.
And
depends on seasons.
Yeah, and then the carrots, it's 120. Before it's just 90 pesos, so I'm selling it for 120. But now it's 120, so I'm selling it for 150. Don't forget, I get some which will be boogered, so.
Yeah. But generally speaking, vegetables are expensive here. And they're well sought after. It's a treat, if you like. But they don't buy them like they do in the West. They buy one potato,
Mm.
and they like the small ones. They'll buy one onion as big as a marble. They'll buy one carrot, a slice of pumpkin, and it goes into soup as an extra, I suppose. So when you're buying one small onion, per kilo it's expensive, but it's affordable because you're buying one little onion. And they eat a lot of garlic. How much is garlic a kilo to sell?
Yeah, it go down. It's 120.
You sell it for 120 a kilo.
No, 120 peso I'm buying.
Right.
I sell it by piece.
Yeah.
7, 8 peso. And it depends on the size of it because I weigh it.
Yeah.
Mm.
So an individual clove of garlic, not a clove, the bulb,
It's, yeah, 7 or 8.
8 pesos. No, there's not many Western people live here at all, around here. There's a fellow passes here, I assume he's American, Afro-American, I think. I've never spoke to him.
Black man?
Yeah, a black fella. And he's building a house or doing whatever further up the mountain. But I've not had a chance to speak to him. He's not stopped and come to the shop or anything like that. And on another mountain, I believe there's another one. And then in the old place where Jean used to live, there's a couple of South Koreans helping to build a house for different people. And that's about it. I'll see a foreign man down Compostela, but not very often. I'm still a bit of a novelty down there, but I think everybody's seen me now. They used to seeing me, but when I go to Danao, I see quite a lot of foreign men in Danao, or I did. Now it is noticeably down. I don't see so many as I used to. I'll still see them in the supermarket. I think they're here permanently, but walking around, I don't see as many as what I did 12 months ago. No, I don't interact with foreign men very much. If I pass one in the supermarket, I'll say good morning. Some reply, some don't. They're all busy with their own lives, and not all speak English, presumably. But no, I don't get a chance to interact very much. Chris, I went down Iloand and met up with a viewer, and we had lunch together. That was very, very nice to talk to a foreign man again, the Englishman. But apart from that, that's the only one I've had one or two conversations over the last 12 months with different foreigners.
Yeah, someone wanted to come here, but the weather was no good, so
Yeah.
they prefer not
I was
to.
talking to an Australian fellow with a Filipino wife I think it maybe was in Danao. I had a good talk with him.
But that's
one day.
That's not Australian. The woman, that's a...
I thought it was Australian. It's a while ago. I can't really remember.
The man, the one who just got married? No.
No. He'd been married a good while. He was here on holiday.
Ay, that's on the city mall.
Yeah.
In the top shop.
Yeah. I can't remember now. Yeah, I don't know if they keep to themselves or not. It's not that many of them. Unlike in the city where you go to the same coffee shop or bar and meet. people from your own country, Western people or whatever. It's not like that here. It might be in some provinces, depends on the population where you are, but it's a sparse population here, so it's all Filipinos, basically. I'm the odd one out.
Chicken an hour already?
No, it's a right in the UK, or always was, unless it's been changed. It's not a benefit, it's a pension. Unless they've changed it this last few years. Yeah, one pot cooking starting, yeah.
Yeah, one pot cooking.
On an open fire for many people.
If they buy 1 kilo fish, then they're gonna cook it in one go.
Yeah.
And eat it all in one go.
Yeah,
eat it all in one go, and then
Jean likes to eat fish all the time, so she buy fish. I make her bag it up and put it in the freezer. Because she buy a kilo of fish, cook it all in one go and eat it for 3 days. And not always put it back in the fridge. That's how it works here. But Jean's changed quite a bit. Yeah, well, it maybe is now, but when in the UK, when I started work, you got your cards. And your employer, you give the card to the employer, and he puts a stamp on it every month, national insurance stamp. And it wasn't a general tax, it was specific for your pension. It may well have changed now, but the pension in the UK was never a welfare benefit. This is why over the last number of years, instead of putting the pension up, they've kept the pension as minimum as they can, and then if you can't make ends meet, you can apply for different things as benefits, but not everybody can get access to them benefits. Same as me, all I can access is the pension. But governments make it as complicated as they can, just to pay out as little as possible. MP Dawson. Yeah, the chicken sales are good. They've been good since we've been butchering them.
How many we killed last time?
19, I think, just short of 20.
What day is it?
Oh, I don't know what day it is. I think you'd virtually run out of chicken last Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday we butchered, and then around 10 pieces.
So you sold 10 pieces, yeah, since last Wednesday. I'll probably be butchering chickens again today. I'm going to go down now and feed the chickens and the pigs. And the live birds sell. Sometimes they can sit out the front for 2 or 3 days and not sell a bird, and then you can empty the cage in 2 days. 10 or 12 chickens got. But they seem to sell quite regular out the freezer. They'll stop at the shop and pick a chicken up going home, and that's the tea for the family of 6, 8, 10 people, And the small chickens seem to be what they want. 1 kilo, 200 pesos. It's a bit under 1 kilo, or even better, 160, 180 pesos. Whereas we were trying to grow them out into 2 kilo birds. Then we cut them in half. A lot of them. Half of them we'd cut in half, the other half would be left home. But I've been fighting dead loss now for 3 weeks among the chickens. I think I have started to gradually win. And I think part of that answer to the dead loss in the chickens is butchering them at just over 1 kilo, aim for 1 kilo birds. I think maybe because they're inbred that much and grow that quickly, they're that hot with the metabolism of the bird. They don't stop eating. They eat and they doze and they eat again 24 hours a day.
They do.
So I will go to butchering earlier, I think.
We go there na.
Yeah. But this last 3 days we had 1 dead bird down there. But if you're losing 2 birds a day on the meat birds, all the other birds seem to be right now. That seems a lot to me. But maybe it's not a lot. Maybe that's normal. I don't know. But I see 2 dead birds as 200 pesos maybe a day. So 1,000 pesos a week dead loss. That doesn't seem right to me. But maybe it is, that's normal. I don't know. But regardless of what is normal, you want to strive to do better. If you've got dead loss of 1 a day on average, you want to try and get that down to 1 every other day. Or if it's possible, it probably isn't. If you can reduce it to 0, then that's what you aim for, or that's what I aim for. Yeah, Dawson MP, so I presume Dawson is his last name. So Mike Peter. It is a shithole, it's the UK and other Western countries. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it in the UK. But of course, the people, the English people, the Scottish people, the Welsh people, the Irish people, North and South, they're the same people. And yeah, they're a bit they've gone astray maybe a little bit, but at heart they're the same people. So it's not a shithole from a people point of view. Apart from the people in power. But I know what you mean, yeah. It will turn round eventually. Just a case of when and how. I know how. And it's not through petitions and protests and voting in the ballot box. It's going to be a lot more dramatic than that, and it's inevitable. They're all on about AI and everybody being controlled with the mobile phones, etc. Technology. You can't buy technology if you know work. But I suppose the government will give the bloody technology out free of charge, and people will grab them. I don't know. Too complicated for me. Morning, Johnny. Yeah, good to see you, Johnny. Hope best well. No doubt you're working away as normal. You seem to be drinking a lot more coffee, Johnny, nowadays. Used to be all slabs. Yeah. Yeah, we're busy chewing the cud about Australia and the UK and pensions and the West in general. I love Albanese. God, how he got to be Prime Minister, I have no idea. He was next in line, I think. Tony Abbott was good. But stabbed him in the back, got rid of him, and it's been going downhill ever since in Australia. Yeah. No answers to it. I'm not that clever, but I can see what's going on. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'll leave the video there. It's 6:15. We've done nearly 2 hours. They're weighing the meat now, so I'll go down and see what we've got. I'll make a video today. The meat's coming up now. I'll make a video today, and I'll, all being well, this is Wi-Fi. I'll upload it tonight, and I'll give you a ring tonight, Mary, around 6 o'clock for definite, providing I've got Wi-Fi. The other night, other 2 nights, I tried to ring you, no Wi-Fi. I tried to ring you with using Jean's phone hotspot, which were connected to the Wi-Fi via the phone system, but it too slow to work. So we'll leave it there. Thanks for looking in, especially the commenters. Give me something to talk about. We'll leave it there, and we'll probably do it again next week. So we'll see you all then.